Today, we're taking a look at the Tesla Model X and why it was considered one of the safest SUVs because of the roll test. Let's go ahead and have a look. This video has 30 million views. I have not seen this before. I think I've seen little clips, but let's check it out. Whew.
This Model X refuses to roll over. Unlike most SUVs, which tend to roll over with ease, the Model X continues to return to an upright position. Here's why the Model X was the first SUV to receive a perfect crash test rating.
Pretty amazing. It's something that we take for granted. I remember growing up, the Volvo was considered like the safest car. It was built like a tank. And Volvo was bought by Ford or another company at some point, and the quality kind of diminished a little bit. And I think it was sold again. But just to, when safety was really important, Volvo used to be kind of the king. I know it's evolved since then.
When it comes to vehicle safety, size matters. So it's not uncommon for SUVs to be generally safer than your standard sedan. However, they tend to have one big shortcoming: rollovers. SUVs are notorious for having a high center of gravity, causing them to roll over when put into tight maneuvering situations or a side impact. Rollovers can result in the partial or full ejection of passengers from the vehicle, increasing the chances of injury or death. In 2016, rollovers happened in 1% of serious crashes in passenger vehicles, but accounted for 1/3 of collision-related deaths. Over the past 3 decades, automakers have been able to reduce the frequency of rollovers in vehicles with technology and more stable designs.
Amazing stuff. It's something we take for granted, that we're always innovating. Things that we don't think about on a daily basis are being worked on. And when a technology we don't even think about it anymore, we just go along with our lives and we never really think about it anymore. That's impressive. It's not as impressive if a technology we still think about it, we talk about it, because it's not quite there yet. For example, currently, as of recording this video, autonomous driving, there's still like a lot of people who are iffy about it because it is emerging technology. For example, and then you might be wondering, well, what's an example? Well, one is this safety, but another example is like concrete. None of us think about concrete. But when concrete was first being evolved, it didn't last as long. We had issues with structural issues like structural safety. And now we don't even think about concrete at all. Yet, if you look outside your door right now, there's millions, if not billions, of tons of concrete all over the place. And it's doing its job really well.
However, once a serious impact occurs, it's just basic physics. A higher center of gravity increases the likelihood of a car tipping or rolling over. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, is the only organization that tests rollover resistance. They also test frontal crashes and side impacts from a pole and barrier. After each test, they measure readings from a dummy to determine how much damage a real person is likely to sustain. They use this data to determine a safety rating in each category and an overall safety rating for the vehicle.
Another good reason, not just, I wear helmets. There's different organizations that do helmet testing. There's DOT, there's Snell, there's different standards. And so this is great as well, that there's multiple organizations, not just this highway safety test. There's other organizations that you can cross-reference. You could do JD Power Associates. Some are for-profit, some are non-profit. And if you can look at multiple sources, you can get a better idea, which is something great we take for granted, is all the testing and work that goes into this and many other, safety tests.
Amongst its many luxury features, the Model X hosts active safety technology, such as collision avoidance systems and automatic emergency braking. But what sets the Model X apart is its design. Like other Teslas, the Model X has a large, rigid battery pack located on the floor of the vehicle. This gives the Model X a much lower center of gravity than your average SUV. In the event of a collision that would normally cause an SUV to roll over, this would happen instead. But rollovers are just...
Yes, exactly. I don't know if you saw that back there, but the bottom of the car is just literally, you can see it rolling here. That's all battery pack there. Everything from the bottom of, it's just a thick battery. And just so you know, the Model X weight, I want to look at the weight, that it's super heavy car. And a lot of that weight, yeah, 5,000, it's 5,200 about to 5,600 pounds. So it's almost 3 tons. That's incredible. Really, really heavy, and that weight keeps it down. Where a lot of the other SUVs we were looking at, like Hyundai right here, a lot of the weight is up top, above the wheels, not below the wheels.
Since the Model X is an electric vehicle, there's no need for mechanical components in the hood of the car. This allows for a much larger crumple zone to absorb energy from a frontal crash. It also has specially made side sills that absorb energy in addition to its rigid side pillars. These features help reduce the force exerted on passengers and increases their protection. But
That's another good point we take for granted. Like Honda Civics, Toyota Corollas, some of the most popular economy cars. There's a ton of them out there on the street. They're meant to crumple. So a lot of people say, oh, it's so expensive when I got in a car accident. But the cars are actually designed to get really messed up so that it absorbs some of that impact. So modern design, some people say, oh, I got an old Ford F-150. That thing's built like a tank. Or I have an old Mustang. It's a full metal steel shell. That's not always safer in an accident, but it just goes to show that the new technology of absorption and looking at impact in different, thinking about it, brainstorming, and finding really great solutions to it. I mean, what's more important, a car or a human? As far as what's more important for your life, right? This isn't open to other people, but to yourself, right? Your body is worth more.
if you don't have $80,000 laying around for a Model X, there's still plenty of SUVs out there with excellent safety ratings.
Good point, that not all SUVs have a rolling risk as high as others, right? So do your research before you do, but good on, Tesla's really pushing the envelope here. We thought they were just an electric car company, but they're really a technology company. They're not only with safety, but with autonomous driving, which you could say is a type of safety. And now they're working on robots and all sort of, and batteries and solar. So amazing technology, and I kudos to them. That's well deserved. From here, I think it'll be really interesting where Ford and GM and NIO and Fisker and Lucid and all these companies, it'll be interesting to see, and Porsche. Porsche has a really good sports car that's electric. It'll be interesting to see, how they compete in the future and what that brings. But the future of driving is safe. It's convenient. It's efficient. So it's an exciting time. That's what I think. Let me know what you all think.